Alright, welcome to another episode of our lessons, and today on mathematics we want to look at quadratic equation by completing the squares method, one method of solution that most students are afraid of. So we have the form of equation on the board, ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. That is the form of the quadratic equation, and we want to solve it by completing the squares method. Please listen as you follow up with the steps. Okay, so first of all, when you have a quadratic equation like this, you take the first step you take is to take the constant, this one without the x, to the other side of the equation, so that we are going to have ax squared plus bx plus is equals to, now plus c crossing to 0 will give us 0 minus c, which will give us minus c. After that, what else do? You make the x squared, the coefficient of x squared unity, that is to say, make the coefficient of x squared 1. And how do you make the coefficient of x squared 1? Divide each term by the coefficient of x squared, which is a here. So if I divide this by a, I'm going to be left with x squared plus, divide this by a, I'm going to have b over ax is equal to, divide this by a, I'm going to have minus c over a. After that, next thing, you make the left hand side a perfect square and then add it to both sides. How you make the left hand side a perfect square? Very simple trick. You just multiply the coefficient of x by 1 over 2. So our coefficient of x here is b over a multiplied by 1 over 2, and we are going to have b over 2a. Then we put it inside the bracket and square it. That's our perfect square. So we add this perfect square, b over 2a all square, to both sides of the equation. So our equation now becomes x squared plus b over ax plus b over 2a all square is equals to minus c over a plus b over 2a all square. So that's our perfect square. After this, adding your perfect square to both sides, you factorize the left hand side and simplify the right hand side. How do you factorize the left hand side? Very simple. You just pick those with the squares inside a bracket. So we are going to have x and b over 2a inside the bracket. And now, what is the sign that will separate this x and b over 2a? Is the sign of the coefficient of x, and our coefficient of x here, the sign here is plus, then we square it. That's the factorization of the left hand side. So here we simplify our right hand side. This is minus c over a plus, this becomes b square all over 2 square will give us 4 and a square. That's that side. So we can further simplify this to be minus c over, we look for the LCM of a and 4a, which is 4a square. So the LCM of a and 4a square is 4a square. And then a goes into 4a square, we are going to have 4a. Or you say 4a square divided by a, we are going to have 4a multiplied by minus c, we are going to have minus 4ac. Then plus, here, 4a square goes into 4a square. 1 time times b square, we are going to have b square. Remember that this side is equal to this side. So if we rewrite this, we are going to have x plus b over 2a all square is now equal to, I start with a positive person here, so we have b square minus 4ac divided by 4a square divided by 4a square. After this, you find the square root of both sides. So by finding the square root of both sides, if I find the square root on my left hand side, it will remove the square here. So I'm going to have x plus b over 2a here is equal to, I find the square root of the numerator here, square root of b square minus 4ac. Because I'm finding the square root, I'm going to add plus or minus, because the square root of any value is plus or minus your answer. So divided by the square root of 4 is going to give me 2, and the square root of a is square is going to give me a. So see, that's our quadratic formula is coming up slowly. So after this, we take this other part to the other side. so that x is going to be alone on this side. So we are going to have x is equal to, if plus b over 2a crosses, we are going to have minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Since here the denominators are the same, so we can just make use of one denominator and then add or subtract the numerator. So our x now is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So this is the quadratic formula, and the steps we took are the steps to completing the squares. Let's make use of an example. Look at the other part of the board. We have an example. The question says, solve the equation x squared minus 2 root 3 x minus 1 is equals to 0. And we want to use completing the squares method to find our solution. So let's keep up with it. Let's see, x squared minus 2 root 3 x minus 1 is equals to 0. Come across this kind of question, first thing is that, can I factorize or can I use the formula? But it might not work, so let's use completing the squares here. Okay, so first step, remember, take this to the other side, take this to the other side. So we're going to have x squared minus 2 root 3 x is equal to minus 1 crosses, becomes 0 plus 1, which will give us 1. Alright, after that, since our coefficient of x squared is already unity, so at this point we will leave that step and move to the next step, which is making the left hand side a perfect square. So let's multiply 2 root 3 times 1 over 2. Remember, the sign here is not really our concern in making it a perfect square. So this will give us 2 root 3 over 2. That's 2 root 3 times 1 is 2 root 3, all divided by 2. Now 2 here can cancel this 2 outside, which is multiplying the root 3. So our perfect square here is root 3, and we square it. Are we together? Alright, so we write that. So we are going to have x squared minus 2 root 3 x. We add, you always add your perfect square. So our perfect square here is root 3 all square. Please don't find the squares first, just leave it like that. Is equals to 1 plus root 3 all square. Now, remember what we said, you pick by factorizing the left hand side, you only pick those with the squares. So I have my bracket, I have x as a square and root 3 also has a square. And now what sign will separate x and root 3? Is it minus or plus? Remember, I told you it's always the sign that follows the coefficient of x. So the sign that follows the coefficient of x in this case is minus, and then we square our bracket. So this is equal to, we simplify this other side, remember this square, simplify this other side, we are going to have 1 plus square root of 3 raised to power 2. The power 2 would remove the square root and we are left with 3. So here we still get this x minus root 3 all square is equals to 1 plus 3 will give us 4. Then we find the square root of both sides. So if I find the square root of this side, it will remove the square, remember? So now x minus root 3 is equal to the square root of 4 is plus or minus. You know the square root of 4 is 2. So here is going to be plus or minus 2. So we take our root 3 or minus root 3 rather to the other side. So our x now becomes, x is equal to minus root 3 crosses becomes root 3, then plus or minus 2. That means our x is either root 3 plus 2 or root 3 minus 2. Please don't go to add the 2 to the root 3 because they are not the same family, so you cannot add them together. So that's how you can do the completing the squares method. Very simple and easy for you. And so at this point we are going to take a break, and then I ask you to like, comment, and also let us know any problem or challenges you face while trying this method. Thank you.